Welcome back to where everything is going wrong. Having your entire operation shut down and taken over by the Japanese government is one thing, but sympathetic enemies that are just trying to regain a semblance of normality and are somewhat open to conversations. This is an interesting little arc we got. And with that in mind, I'm guessing there's only a matter of time before something else goes drastically wrong, but also, is anyone else going to be drawn into it? Last season we had lost limbs and feelings of inadequacy. Now we've got Tsubasa letting civilians die and going through much the same. What about the rest of them? Where's going to be their learning point? And how much more trouble are the supposed antagonists going to go through? Do they need more blood samples? Transfusions? We'll have to see, but at least turn the music up, because we're starting Symphogear. I did like this fight at the end. Hibiki pulling her punches, so to speak. There is an in-route there. They don't have to rely on violence. Work with them. They don't have to be at each other's throats. You know, if there is anything to actually work with anymore. She was being carried like luggage. You know, my main question isn't really about the team and Hibiki and whatnot breaking through to those three and having some sort of dialogue. No, it's... Are they now going to be under even tighter regulations, or are they going to be disbanded? What is the end goal here of overtaking by force? Especially when you're so very close at uncovering secrets of the past and ancient civilizations and how it all ties together and what they're able to achieve. I guess, yeah, stopping the gear users now before they can interfere with plans. It is kind of interesting that you've got all of these random organizations and people rising up and creating splinter groups and fighting back against everything, really. And they've all got quite distinct abilities and personality tropes and whatnot. No one's decided to try and just build an entire army of, like, super soldiers or anything. Really? May have taken control. You don't need to be an ass about it. Okay, if it's just an investigation, but there's a lot of things here which they won't quite grasp the meanings of. Yeah, hold your tongue unless you want further repercussions. So, power trip? Or was this trying to further his own career? Right. So it is actually just going to bureaucracy and red tape. Yeah, that would be the downfall of any sort of organization that is trying to defend the Earth. Yeah, just sit down. Sit this one out. You take them off, and you'll just be... Oh, okay, actually allowing it. Okay, I guess. They'll just be putting them out into danger if they take away all their defense. What a transition. I mean, it's kind of understandable that you would have those that are now pushing legislation and bureaucracy and whatnot to, if not rein in any sort of dangerous weaponry and equipment, but at least have a paper trail of it. Can't just let it completely go unchecked. I mean, we saw what happened when someone else tried to utilize it, so... Good thing they've got... Was that necessary? Why did you bring it across then? That was a hard cut into some flashback. Right, so... Sudden random activation of an artifact. Huh. So she was just a scientist. How'd she get into, well, probably a lot of training, but being battle trained and everything. That she wasn't alone in it. Much like... nice safety fetal position. But yeah, much like many of the other... antagonists and whatnot, having a life of trying to overthrow the chains of subjugation placed upon them. Was he just lucky that they were there? And disregarding any sort of humanity they may have there, it's like, monsters are designed to hunt. No noodles or anything. Wait, is that the same guy? Is he actually keeping guard? Make sure no one's actually listening into this. And on a public phone as well. They left some breadcrumbs. I mean, this kind of detective work and uncovering evil plans and whatnot in the midst of everything else they've got going on. Joint US-Japan Lunar Project. We did hear that they were trying to work together and whatnot, so what is going to be uncovered in any sort of adventurous romp over the lunar surface? One is much more interested in movies and use of force than the other. Don't lose their head in placing blames or anything right now. And then cut. What's she doing under there? I mean, just having a warm bath can probably help clear your head a little, but with everything else that has happened recently. They are bound by regulations now, and whatnot. They can't just fight back unwarranted. Whatever the word is. God, the tracking of that. I believe her. I mean, she works flat out in a lab and doesn't see much sunlight and whatnot, so... Use words of 2 syllables or less. I mean, if she enjoys it and doesn't overwork herself, then... Really? Do you really want to influence her in the wrong ways? Put her away from what she knows? I mean, pretty on point, but also, where did you pull those from? Do you usually go bathing with water pistols? I mean, the last time we saw them actually just enjoy anything, I think, was what, birthday party that they held. That's actually now just a montage of things, and then really lingering on a snowman. I mean, it was only a matter of time before karaoke was mentioned. Yeah, I mean, after everything that she's been put through and training up through, can she just switch off and enjoy time? The fact that also she is just really going at it and no one's paying attention to her song. Shame. The duality there. Elf9 just enjoying her song and then them talking about not being able to do anything. Just go back to singing. Maybe they'll finish by the time the next song's done. I mean, I understand we're getting upset on someone else's behalf, but then just bringing everyone else into it and flinging blame around like that. I guess, yeah, she would have harbored some guilt as if for getting her into this entire life and why they've been so strained. It looks like fun times at the karaoke is being cut short. Is this through the proper channels? Are they now just accepting these calls with no confirmation? I mean, if people are in danger, so can't just ignore it. Don't end things on a down note and an argument. Still as poetic as ever with her words and phrasing there. Considering we've seen noise just appear out of nowhere and everywhere, the fact that you got that kind of noise aerial bomber with limited holes for spawn balls. A 360 turnaround? I have several words that come to my head, but it's flashing through so quickly I'm missing the opportunity. Clean. See, the thing with Tsubasa is that, yes, she is refined in her art and her blade and whatnot, but apart from her giant mega Zweihand sledge slam thing of hers, doesn't have much range utility. Well, let's hope that no one comes in that needs to be used it. There's something else going on here. Well, what do they class as, like, enemy combatants and whatnot in the area? Focus on the here and now. If you are left out of it, you can't blame yourself. Really? Yeah, get the fuck out! We have overridden command here. They were out of their depth. That was quick, though. What court allowed that first order, and who overturned it? Well, looky, they're here. Is she actually there, or... Hopefully no one was in that parked car. Look at all that residual damage. Wouldn't that start to tell you that something's off? And how long before she starts attacking Hibiki as well? I was going to make a Warhammer reference, but probably best I don't. Still, even in a dazed and manic state, seeing everyone as her arch nemesis for the time being, Sylvester is still hell of effective. Hopefully there's no civilians and or explosive materials that she is now attacking over there. When I was saying about no ranged attack, I mean... No! Mass casualties right there. We're not going to be able to go back to happy fun times at karaoke for a while. This place is going to need a renovation. At least the bucket survived. The fact that she is going into a frenzy mid-battle, is she ready for combat? Oh, they're still running. Didn't even wait, try and catch breath and whatnot. Kind of wise to take away security footage in the area. Well, now they're on a somewhat first-name basis, at least. Oh, look at that. Didn't really need all of this, though. They were just going karaoke. Well, at least there's some communication going on there. But if they want to bring down the ire and fury... Wait a minute, they know where to start. Has he just been cut loose? Was that what that message was about? I will probably enjoy myself like he is right there, if that is the case. Quite the spurt right there. One of 3 situations. One is actually just hurting Miku and we've got, oh no, moment kick up. 2, that guy has just been relieved of duty and his head. Or early snack on a blood bag. But yeah, I kind of understand the base takeover and then having to fight back against that. Didn't think it would be the very same episode. It was like, oh no, we've had to just hands up and stop operations for 10 minutes later. Back in charge, get the hell out. An eviction notice and everything else. Thought they probably could have done a bit more with it. But yeah, combining in the issues that Tsubasa is facing and everything. One more episode of Symphogear down, and one where a lot happened. I'm not sure what I gained out of it, just bureaucracy and red tape really is the end of everything. If you want things to go down the drain, bureaucracy. People can interfere with plans and cause the most damage possible while also staying out of any sort of line of fire and believing they did the right thing. Where does that sound familiar? But I do like everything that is kind of going on in the background with these three new antagonists that they got going up. The fact that this Vanessa, who seems to be the de facto leader of the group, is, for the most part, the most sympathetic out of all of them, and is open to some form of line of communication. Vampire one, not so sure, really. You know, it's hard to justify some of the actions that she's caused, but still. Throughout all of this, there's some things to take into consideration. Considering we had Miku's name being brought up before. Can't remember who it was that said about it. It was in that beam attack that stripped them of their sin. So Miku is going to be a key factor in this season. Is it going to be so early? I'm not sure. But after a small argument and whatnot like that, it would be prudent to then have something happen. You know, you don't want to end things off on a sour note, on anger, on words they didn't mean, kind of thing. Yeah, Alpha 9 just singing her heart out there in the karaoke, where it's not a life and death battle, but she can still belt out a tune like the rest of them. Was fun to see. The fact that no one was paying attention to her, no one was listening to it, is kind of heartbreaking, especially after she had just learned how to let go and enjoy herself. And I'm still going to question how are they covering all of the damage to the city and the infrastructure and everything if they can just go balls to the wall rampant, just taking complete buildings off their foundations? Yeah, it's fine. People knew what they were signing up to when they chose to live here. I don't really have too much else to say. I mean, some of the themes that have been brought up in this episode have sparked an interest, a question or two in my mind. Having just nice, homely time with Hibiki and Miku is good to see after everything they've been through, and then Miku opening her heart a bit and saying, I put you in this position, trying to get you to the constant thing in the first place. She bears a load of guilt for putting things in motion in that respect. Not sure it was the best time for it all to be brought up there, but when is? But when all was said and done, need to uncover disaster and plots. It'll be interesting to see how badly it ends for those that are pulling strings through the shadows. But to see that, we need to watch more. So if you've enjoyed this one, let me know. Leave a like and a comment down below. Consider subscribing to the channel to not miss out. Maybe join onto my Discord, which links are down below in the description, for general conversation, memes, and votes and polls on upcoming shows. Which I think I'm going to have to think about doing one very soon. Oh God. But for now, get yourselves a bit of rest so that I can see you from the next one. I think I'd ever go to karaoke bar. My singing voice being the least of my issues about it.